Hello everyone. I am going to quickly go through our last conventional energy source, natural gas. It's only a few slides just talking about disadvantages, advantages, and then sources. So let's start with our advantages and disadvantages. So really it is very plentiful. We're finding more sources of natural gas that we can tap into, so it is looking very attractive, especially since there is a low production cost. Just extracting it, you have your natural gas. It's not like oil where you have to further refine it. And it does burn cleaner. It is very clean oil compared to burning coal. It burns cleaner by producing half as much carbon dioxide as like our coal and oil. And this is actually 24% of our global energy is natural gas, and it is the third largest commercial fuel for the world. And the prices are dropping drastically, so it is, again, a very attractive energy source. There are some environmental problems that we'll discuss later on. So when I think of a natural gas, I think of methane. There are a lot of different sources for just natural methane. I always think of cows first because they have those bacteria in their gut that do produce the methane gas. Other sources like farming, rice paddies produce a lot of methane gas. Wetlands do, and then as you can see in the pie chart, there are many other sources. The photo on the right I have is just because if you ever drive by a landfill, you may see this tower with this flame. That is just producing methane gas, and instead of tapping in and using it, sometimes they just actually burn it off. And they burn it off because they need, again, methane can explode, so it is a safer source, or it's a safer way of burning it rather than having it within that area contained. So natural gas is a useful, clean burning, but not problem-free fossil fuel. So again, natural gas, 50 to 90% of the natural gas that we burn is methane gas. And storing gas and transporting it can be an issue. So we get most of our methane gas from Canada. So how they transport it, the LNG, the liquefied natural gas. So it's easier, obviously, to store more gas as a liquid. So they actually condense it down into the liquid form. A big concern, though, when you do this is risk of explosion. Where are you going to load and unload this cargo safely? And then also, they actually, when they do transport it through boats, then they have to, regas it by using the seawater to warm it up. So that is another, abuse of the environment, having temperature change of the seawater to do this process. So it's just liquefied natural gas is just a way to transport and ship it to different areas on our world, or in our world. Okay, so natural gas, this is another fracking. So fracking, again, is oil and gases, and shale rock is another source that has natural gas. And this is actually a low cost because these are actually found in shallow formations. So it is cheaper to extract because they don't have to drill very deep. But there is an issue with this in that the rock is called a tight formation, so it's really difficult for the gas then to be released from these formations. So that's where the fracking process comes in, to break it up and then to release the gas. But again, methane is a greenhouse gas, and it can absorb an enormous amount of heat energy and retain it. So this is a big environmental problem. If we were to release it, we're going to accelerate global warming. So that is that association, that negative of this natural gas source. So this is just a quick trade-off. You can review it on your own, I guess, just the fracking, water pollution by fracking and releasing this methane gas, which again we saw in that gas lands of just being able to burn your water. Okay, so sources of natural gas, there is, again, that shale. There is also coal beds. So coal, whenever you mine it, is actually very dangerous because of the methane. Coal is slowly turning into methane. So when you are extracting the coal coal, you're extracting the methane gas as well. So whenever there's explosions, usually it is associated with that methane gas. So again, coal, there's a high environmental impact of extracting that source. So that's the con of extracting methane from coal. And then the methane hydrate. So methane is actually trapped in icy water, in permafrost environments. So again, as you talk about global warming and temperature change occurring, areas that have this permafrost are now naturally warming and releasing all of this methane gas, which is a huge negative for our environment, again, because methane can absorb so much heat energy. But in these areas that have it, we're looking now to see, can we extract this methane gas? Is there a way to get the methane bubbles to release the gas that we then can use? And actually, if you look at this next slide, this is kind of showing areas that contain energy in their ice, that contain that methane. So you can see in the map on the bottom left areas that would have that methane hydrate deposits, and mining it, or mining, I shouldn't say mining, but trying to obtain that gas. You can see in the upper right, Arctic permafrost deposits. So it is actually closer to the surface, so you could extract that. So that is one source that we are looking at in our future of trying to get more methane. We could maybe look in those areas that contain it in the ice bubbles. Okay, so that was just a review of natural gas, the pros, cons, and sources that we're looking into in our future. Oh, and another one, just quickly, is methane gas from dumps. I said they usually burn off. They are looking at extracting that, and also in sewage. With that decomposition, you're making a lot of methane gas. So they're looking into tapping into those sources rather than just burning them off. Okay, well, have a great day.